Pride pregame show. Kendrick Fruit, Stephen Whitenhouse here with you as we're getting set for what will be leg 2 of an exciting rivalry weekend. Volleyball gets it done at Guilford yesterday. Now we're hosting men's soccer here today, and of course it all ends with a Soup Bowl later tonight. And Stephen, we'll get your thoughts on volleyball here in just a minute, but why don't we talk a little bit about this game today? And obviously we mentioned before the Randolph game on Wednesday that we're going to kind of see an uptick in opposition for Greensboro after they got past the Carolina Christian opponents. And then you deal with Randolph. You've got Guilford today, Barry tomorrow, Averett next week. So this is kind of part 2 of that early season gauntlet the men's soccer team's going to have to face. What did you see from them on Wednesday?
I thought I saw a lot of perseverance. I think one of the things that was really encouraging was that when we did get down twice in that second half, we were able to fight. And we came back to tie that game. Talking to Coach Weisshank after the game, it's really great that we ended up getting a tie result because that very easily could have been a loss, whether it was 1-0 or 2-1. But they fought and they came back and they had perseverance. And so I thought that was really good. Something that's really positive to take from an early season matchup with a good Randolph team. All the ODAC opponents are going to be tough, and so you got another one today in Guilford. But I thought, last game there's a lot of perseverance. Still some things to clean up, from a tactical standpoint. But I just like the grit and the guts that they had.
Well, we spoke to Coach earlier today, and we can pass along both Hermosa and Deanna, who left the game early on Wednesday, are quote-unquote good to go for today. So that's good. But in the event that we do lose somebody either today or going forward, obviously you hope that never happens, but what did you see from everyone else? It seemed like a lot of guys really stepped up and stepped in. Obviously, Kansian, we know, is more than capable in net. And then, of course, the late penalty shot by Garcia Avila. I think everybody was kind of that next man up mentality on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a guy like Jade late in that game. Luckily it wasn't for too long because he's a very big piece of this team. But you also saw a lot of depth. I mean, obviously Axel, is a big time player. He was a second team all conference player 2 years ago, so we know what he could do. But you saw, other guys step up as well. We've seen Sergio Garcia Barrios. He's had a great start to the year. And so, Callie Hermanson had that assist the other night. So there's a lot of depth on this team. So even if you do have to go to the bench, you still, certainly have a chance to score and play well. But obviously, it's great to have Hermosa, our starting goalie, as well as Jade back. But I think one thing too, kind of going with that, you saw Kansian last game come up with a massive save at the end, showing off his athletic ability. I mean, this team has
awareness.
Yeah, awareness, athletic ability. So this team has depth everywhere, even at keeper, and at the forward spot. So obviously, it's great to have those guys back, but I think you also saw some depth. You got to see some other guys get some opportunity last game. So obviously, like I said, you don't want to see anybody injured, but when someone does go down, other people get to step up.
Obviously, it wasn't all sunshine and roses in that Randolph game. And one of the things that Athletic Director Jerry Fisk and I were talking about on the broadcast, at least on the offensive end, it looked like you could see the thought process of what Greensboro was trying to do. Just the execution wasn't always there.
Yeah, I think you kind of saw that as well in the scrimmage against Lynchburg not all that long ago. So I think that's just going to come with time. These guys are, there's so many guys that are new. And even the returners are trying to learn, the new players. So I think that's just going to come in time. But I think you're already seeing flashes of what could be. I think on the defensive end, we've got to shore up some things. I think last game we had a couple of very close calls that could have been goal opportunities for Randolph that luckily they didn't score in that first half. So just got to shore up a few things, but and also stay disciplined. That's another key to today is staying disciplined, tactically, but also just mentally, staying in the game. So, hopefully, some of those things got shored up this week and should be exciting today.
Well, one thing that we know, this Greensboro team will play hard. We know that I don't want to go so far as to say they play emotionally, but you can definitely tell, the energy and the emphasis that goes into this game. And we saw that Randolph game get a little pushy, shovey, if you will,
Sure.
by the end of the game. And obviously, rivalry weekend, you think that kind of adds a whole other level to it. And it's going to be hot today. You throw in all this stuff, and it's a perfect recipe for Temples to tempers to potentially boil over. So with that said, how do you play within yourself but still not, be reserved necessarily?
Yeah, I think Coach Weinshake, Coach Del Cid, they've just got to make sure that everybody's in the right headspace today. Obviously, it's a rivalry game. It's it's an important game for everybody. The returners certainly know that. We've talked to a couple of them already, and one of their big goals this year is to beat Guilford. And so, you get them on your home turf this year, but you have to stay disciplined. We saw last game, like you mentioned, against Randolph. Got a couple of cards, and you just have to, when the trash talk starts, when things kind of get chippy, you just have to be smart. Obviously, it's an emotional game, and that's part of the fun of it. But you have to be smart for your own team, right? You can't get yourself in trouble and hurt the team overall, especially in a game like today. It's one of those big games of the year. It's a non-conference game, but it's the biggest rivalry game that we had. Even when you include conference play, maybe you include Pfeiffer in that. But this is arguably the biggest regular season game of the year, just when it comes to rivalry's sake. So you have to stay smart and disciplined. That's going to be a big key to today.
Last question here for you. Stepping away from soccer for a minute, but staying within the rivalry, just talking a little bit about how maybe one team can feed off of the success of another team. Volleyball goes to Guilford yesterday, gets it done in 4 sets. And while the sets were close, it certainly looks like, especially led behind Peyton Shiflett, Morgan Mayfield, a couple others, Del Castillo had a big evening. Is this something that, as a school, you kind of say, hey, they got it done, now it's our turn?
Well, I think the fun part of this weekend is that there's 3 games against Guilford. You had volleyball last night, you have men's soccer today, and football later today. And so I think all of that feeds into each other, right? The momentum of, the win last night with the volleyball. A lot of men's soccer players were there last night. So, they're pumped and ready to go today. It's going to be a high-energy game. Hopefully you guys can come out and be here. But if not, surely watch throughout, because there's going to be a lot of energy. It's going to be a very exciting game. And I think, like you said, the rivalry, the other games that we're playing against Guilford, it all feeds into today. So it should be fun.
It should be a lot of fun. The emotion, the talent, you name it, fill in the blanks. We have a lot of things that we're keeping our eye on today. Let's go ahead and get you a quick flashback of what happened Wednesday. Women, a 0-0 tie against Bob Jones. Men, a 2-2 tie against Randolph. We'll get you caught up, and then we'll get ready to get this one started. Rivalry Week continues. It's Greensboro and Guilford, and it's next on the Greensboro Pride Sports Network.
Cole now over to Marcondes and tripped up around the center line. Greensboro, though, maintains possession. Here comes Friedlander. See if Greensboro gets something developing here. Here's an opportunity. Marcondes, a shot, goes wide. Greensboro, again, another offensive look. Trying to put a little bit of pressure on Bob Jones. And we'll regain possession now to Garrity in the middle. Garrity far side. This one a shot and a save made again by Rowland, who sprawls near the far post. Not sure they have enough time to really get anything going. A feed up ahead. And a slide tackle made there by Rosie Tagg. Ends the first half. Nothing doing offensively. 0-0 your score. Fires this one in towards the net and knocked away by Bob Jones. Kendall Cam looking for some help. Fired that one off of the net. Or off of the hand, rather, of Rowland. Great look there for Dawson. She's had a couple good looks today. Walking the tightrope that is the center line. Now feeds this one on up ahead, looking for Lush. Lush with a spin move. Puts her defender on the spin cycle. Feeds this ahead to Dawson. Dawson trying to get a little separation. There's a look right there. Dawson, they're going to call offsides again, this time on Marcondes. Well, look at the Greensboro sideline. People with hands on their head, and that's kind of how we feel over here, too. This one fed up ahead by Friedlander. Lush is racing towards the net. It's going to be scooped up by Rowland. Greensboro, a late opportunity, but not able to capitalize, and this game ends with a scoreless tie. And allows Cortez to settle it for a moment. Randolph sends it back the other way. That one gets past Hermosa there for a moment. He's got to race back into position. Shot. Hermosa saved it with his face. That's saved and goes over to the far side, and play is Cabas.
Fellas, inside the fence.
Watches Hermanson, sends that one in, and that one is a score! Traffic on the far side of the net. Oh no, wait a minute, we have a whistle. Greensboro's called for offsides. Traffic in front of the net and a redirect almost led to a Greensboro score. Instead, the stalemate continues. We'll settle this one. Well, he whiffed on it, and here comes Drombovskis. Hermosa's out of position. Greensboro's got to clear this one quickly. Oh, that was almost trouble. It was almost a wide open opportunity for Randolph, but instead the defenders for Greensboro get back. A hairy moment there for the Pride. That streak, this one headed in towards net, and a score. A score for Randolph. I'm not sure that didn't go in off a Greensboro player. A couple guys fighting for position up in front of the net. Themselves correctly in front of the net. Headed by Randolph. Loose. Deanna.
Goal!
Score!
Goal, goal, goal!
Score! Jade Deanna, after what has been a trying evening, finds the back of the net. Greensboro to fire this one in, headed back by Randolph. Conboy with it. And, they've got a speedster up the middle. That's Richardson. Coming out is Kansian, and Richardson buries it. Kansian came out to play the ball, and Tyler Richardson buries it on the ground. Randolph goes back in front 2-1. And here's the kick, the shot, the score! Axel Garcia Avila has knotted this one up at 2. 20 seconds to go. Again, a tangle. 15 seconds, clock continuing to run, and then a stoppage. Officials blow the whistle, clock still running. Here comes a shot in on net, and a save by Kansian. That was a huge save. I don't think Greensboro was aware of the clock still running and the fact that Randolph said, hey, let's get a quick shot in. Heads-up shot by Leva Membrano, but an even more heads-up save by Kansian, perhaps saving a 2-2 tie.
Yeah.
You would talk about a hard-fought contest. I think that absolutely is the definition here tonight.
Just play some music if you can.
Greensboro and Randolph play to a 2-2 draw. Well, that gets us all set as far as setting the stage is concerned for this afternoon's contest. And I say this afternoon, this morning, Barely's contest, as it's been moved up due to some temperature concerns. What I've been told by my meteorological friends is that this really should be the last day that truly feels like summer this year. So we are certainly excited about that. But nonetheless, we're ready to continue Rivalry Weekend. It's Greensboro and Guilford, leg 2 of a 3-contest weekend, if you will. Women's volleyball takes down the Quakers 3-1 last night. Now men's soccer this afternoon. And then, of course, the Soup Bowl this evening on the campus of Guilford College between the Pride and the Quakers. But certainly don't let that, say, it's just some Division III matchup. Don't let that sway you. When I talked to some guys during the preseason previews this year, and I asked, what is one of the key things for this season to be a success? More than one person told me simply 2 words: beat Guilford. So if you think that there's not a lot of emotion behind this game, I would encourage you to watch closely today. This one is going to be a fun one. We're excited for Greensboro and Guilford. The Pride looking to snap a long skid, if you will, against the Quakers, and after playing toughly against Randolph, a 2-2 tie this past Wednesday. So we're going to get ready for the national anthem, and when we come back, it's the Pride, it's the Quakers, and it's next on the Greensboro College Sports Network. in the huddle over there. He's no small guy there for Greensboro, and obviously, again, we'll see him play a huge factor for the Pride this year. He's got 3 goals on the year, and they certainly look to see if he will add more for them this evening. We'll talk about how impressive a campaign it's already been for Deanna, and starting to work himself up some freshman leaderboards just a couple games into his collegiate career. But we are ready to get things underway on what is turning into a warm Saturday afternoon. And as Greensboro Pride begins their American football slate later today, we're going to keep our eyes on a different type of football here as Greensboro and Guilford ready to get this one underway. And looks like we're going to have a slight delay as soon as we get started. I think the officials just making sure everything is in place, everybody is in place. Greensboro comes into today's game with a record of 1-0-1. Guilford 2-1, a loss to Pfeiffer in the season opener before a 1-0 victory at Methodist and a 10-0 victory against Bluefield. Everyone just standing about, ready to go. And I think we are ready. As we begin play, Greensboro with possession as Hermanson sends this down the pitch. It's going to be headed away by the Quakers, and Mika Rudell will settle it back in the Greensboro defensive side. Pride wearing all white today, and Guilford wearing the black kits with the white numbering. Quakers across the nameplate on the back. So Greensboro's win, a tie rather, against Randolph on Wednesday snapped what was a 4-game losing skid against the Wildcats. They've lost 2 straight against Guilford and 3 of their last 4. The other one being a scoreless draw. Greensboro's last win against the Quakers, you got to go back to 2017. That was a 5-0 Pride victory. Got an early whistle here. Just a little bit over a minute deep into this contest. Neither team with an offensive look as of yet. We'll get you game time weather here in just a moment. So Greensboro will set things up in their own defensive side of the field. Now sending this on up ahead to Garcia Barrios. Check that Garcia Avila with it. Now across to Rudell, to El Cabas, who sends this down the field. It's going to hop once, twice, and out of bounds over the end line. So game time weather today, it is 83 degrees, feels like 88. Temperature will be rising another 5 or 6 degrees by the time we are finished today. There is a 50% chance of rain later this afternoon. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue here as Greensboro has a chance in on net, but it's going to be cleared away by Vidal Peraza. Headed there by Omen. Now Dion trying to settle it down. Deanna sends this further out, or rather the defender on him, but Negash will get in the way of the passing lane. Here comes Greensboro again around the center line. Rain expected around 3 p.m. and maybe again closer to kickoff of football tonight. Deep send in from Omen. He's got El Cabas down there. Good defense by Jeremy Pless, the senior defenseman. Now gives this up ahead to Jacob Garbia. Garbia racing down the near sideline. He's got Rudell on him. Rudell marking him. And Garbia's kick goes out of bounds off of Rudell. We've flipped back over to the home side of the football field, so we are watching Greensboro work from our right to left. Guilford goes left to right across your screen. And it will be an early corner here for the Quakers. Jeremy Pless about to send this one skyward. Fires it in towards the box, and sails that over. Deanna barrels over a Quaker into the far flag post. And I think that's going to be a card on Deanna.
Yellow 22.
Jay Deanna will pick up the yellow card. That will be the first for him on the 2025 campaign. A little bit of a breeze here. It's off and on, but certainly pleasant. This one fired in, pushed aside by Hermosa. He saved it. Did go out of bounds, so once again, remains with Guilford. Hermosa this year has saved all 9 shots coming into today that he has faced. Again, only played about 30 some odd minutes the last game. This one up over his head, it will go out of bounds. And I think they're going to say was touched by Greensboro. Guilford players are clamoring for a tip out off of Greensboro. And it will be a corner kick on the near side now. A lot of early opportunities here for the Quakers, their third corner. Actually, this will be their fourth already, and we're, 4:45 into the game? This one low and stopped out in front of the goal. Kicked there by Garby. A lot of hang time on that one. Hermosa goes out to meet it, and Greensboro finally clears it. Here's an opportunity here for Greensboro. They had a 2-on-1, but it was the one Quaker getting in the way of it. Isaac Garbia now tries to send it further down. Greensboro will settle. Stupurik to Hermanson, back to Stupurik. Now to Nagash and back to Stupurik again. Rudell to El Cabas right in front of us. Back to Rudell. Greensboro trying to work up towards the center line. Defensemen passing it amongst themselves, and a couple of the midfielders getting in on the action as well. Sent further down now to El Cabas. We'll see if the Pride can get their first real offensive look. El Cabas loses it out of bounds, but it's going to be off of the foot of Pless. And Greensboro to throw in just further than their own bench area. Medina Beltran sends this down towards the corner. El Cabas and Pless going for it at the sideline. It's going to be, again, Guilford possession. Otis Vidal Peraza for the Quakers has saved 5 out of 7. 714 save percentage this year for the Guilford netminder as he sends this past the center line, headed there by Hermanson, and rolls out of bounds off of Greensboro. Thrown in by the Quakers. Greensboro tries to send it back the other way. That's going to be Stupurik. And Deanna racing over towards it with Hector Rodriguez. Greensboro with it for a moment, but taken away by Nathan Pless. Greensboro with it now, trying to work towards the far side. There's a trip. Going down over there was Axel Garcia Avila, rather. Axel Garcia Avila. Was tripped up as he was starting to work his way in on Vidal Peraza. And it'll be a corner for Greensboro. Kale Hermanson. Check that, free kick, rather. On the spot of the trip, so Hermanson over there. Everyone in position. And Hermanson boots it in towards the net. The redirect and a nice save by Vidal Peraza. Reached out the right hand and able to redirect it. Greensboro's going to settle it back past the center line. A good look for the Pride, though. Coming up on 9 minutes played here. Shot by Rudell. And here comes Rudell, speaking of, knocking that one out of bounds. Tried to save it, wasn't able to do so. That was his first shot on goal of the season. And another corner coming here for the Quakers. Already their fourth of the contest. This is going to be Jeremy Pless. One of two Plesses on the team, two Garbias on the team as well. This one sent in and headed away. Up over, well, almost over the fence by El Cabas. It's out of bounds. And another corner coming. Nathan Pless very familiar with that corner back there. I think this is his third or fourth corner kick from this side. Sends this one in on the box. Hermosa maybe got a hand on it, so too maybe a little bit of contact from a Guilford player. And it looks like it is out on Guilford. Greensboro will send it in. Alvaro Hermosa setting up the Greensboro players and trying to direct traffic a little bit. And the Greensboro netminder boots that one away as it crosses the center line, headed by the Quakers. And they try to send it back up the other way. Overrun there by Garcia Barrios, and here comes Guilford, but Greensboro defense will redirect that one out of bounds. You hear the wind in the headset right now. Not a common occurrence today, but it is a little blustery in spurts. Frankie Avalos will check in. Jake Carter checks out, the junior from Madison, North Carolina. And here comes Guilford with it. Nathan Pless trying to work the near side of the field. Poked away by Medina Beltran. Medina Beltran a 50-50 ball with Donnie Santos. And now Hermanson sends this far, looking for Axel Garcia Avila. It goes out of bounds, but had a good opportunity. Two Greensboro players streaking down the near sideline. Just not able to connect there. And I think we saw that a lot in the last game as well, where you kind of see the thought process, but just waiting on some of those passes to connect. And certainly with how young this team is and with how new a lot of these people are, that one is sent in towards the box, battled for out in front, headed by Hermanson, and a good save by Vital Peraza, but the redirect score. I believe that was Omen, Gustav Omen, about to pick up his first goal of 2025, and the Pride take a 1-0 lead. Hermanson, a header that was redirected. We'll take another look at it. Vidal Peraza initially made a great save, but right there was Omen for his first goal. Pride take a 1-0 lead. So Gustav Omen, check that his second goal, he scored one at Carolina Christian, so that was his second goal of his freshman season. First goal here at Pride Field. Isahak Nigash sends it further down, but taken away by Guilford. It's Garbia. Hermanson interrupts the passing lane. Hermanson looking further down. There's Omen. Omen wide open down the near side. Settling, was trying to feed it into Deanna. Instead, it's kicked out of bounds off of the foot of Nathan Pless. Good job by Pless to get in the way there of that pass. Omen saw Deanna starting to work his way towards the front of the box, and the pass just right into the leg of Nathan Pless. So a corner here for Greensboro. Sergio Garcia Barrios setting it up. 31-35 to go and counting first half. And here's the shot, or the kick rather, headed away by Guilford, settled by Garcia Avila. Another header there. That one is going to be saved. Omen just about had his second early goal of the contest, but Vidal Peraza will clear it and send it out. 2 shots on goal for the Pride right now, none for Guilford. They do have 1 shot from Santos. Chris Hercules there with it for a moment. Now Hector Rodriguez. Now to Isaac Garbia. Had a teammate further down, but Greensboro takes it away. Kale Hermanson sends this back to Stupuric, and Greensboro looks to reset. Now Nagash far side. Back to Stupuric patrolling the middle, and to Rudell near side. Further up to El Cabas, the midfielder. El Cabas works through 2 defenders. Deanna with it, and he's tripped up. A tackle attempt from Nathan Pless sends Deanna down. And Deanna, who again was dealing with some discomfort earlier this week against Randolph, finds himself on the ground again. And we will step aside for a moment. Well, hang on. He's sitting. Waiting to see if the trainer comes out. If the trainer comes out, we'll step aside. But right now he's worked himself to a kneeling position, and he's up. Clock is stopped, 30:27 to play. Yellow card on Nathan Pless. So it'll be a free kick for Greensboro. Hermanson and Medina Beltran standing over near the ball. So Greensboro now looking to double up their lead. That goal from Omen earlier today, their 11th of the season. And Hermanson kick is redirected and actually ends up back at Hermanson. Now sends it to Medina Beltran, now back to Hermanson. Hermanson fires this one in on the box, trying to be headed away by Omen, but instead it's Guilford that redirects it. And it's sent further up now and out of bounds. So Greensboro, 11 goals already in 3 games this year, matching their season total from last year. 8 goals against Carolina Christian, 2 against Randolph, and 1 early against Guilford as Rudell heads that one out of bounds. We are past the 15-minute mark of this one. 15 minutes in. Pless with it. Jeremy Pless trying to work his way past Stupuric. Gives this out to Santos. Now it's Chase Lewis, the sophomore, who sends this further down to the far side. Jairo Medel Penaloza with it, now back across to the near side. It's Jeremy Pless, and across to Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to work his way past El Cabas, a little bit of contact, but he regains control, but Elcabas takes it away. Good defense. Now to Gustav Omen on the sideline. Back to Elcabas, trying to clear away from any danger, but that pass to the middle of two Quakers. And here's Santos again. 30 yards out are the Quakers right now. And they work things back to the center line. And they'll look to reset. Pless gives this out to Vidal Peraza, who's come out. A couple Greensboro players marking him. Here comes Medina Beltran. Now to Omen. Omen wasn't able to corral the pass cleanly, but he's fighting one-on-one with with Nathan Pless, rather, but it goes back to Vidal Peraza again. Who sends it back to Stupurik at the center line. Stupurik to Hermanson and back to Guilford. They've got Rodriguez on the near side if they want him to the Quakers. Right now they're content to keep it on the far side of the field. Over to the middle, it's Jacob Garbia. And now Greensboro is forced to turnover. This one goes down to Deanna. Deanna trying to split a couple defenders, but offsides, I believe the call there. Yep. And here comes Guilford up the other way. Isaac Garbia to Jeremy Pless. Now Hector Rodriguez. Nice pass getting away from Kale Hermanson. Isaac Garbia far side. Medel Penaloza with it. And Negash, a nice tackle there as he'll redirect that one out of bounds. The Greensboro player has taken a seat, and I think we've got a stoppage here. And they're going to have to take a look at him. I can't quite tell who it is over there, but we will. Maybe Axel Garcia Barrios perhaps taking a seat. Either way, we will take a break while he gets checked out, and we'll let you know what we find out when we come back. Greensboro 1-0 lead, 27:06 to go. You're watching the Greensboro College Sports Network. It was Garcia Barrios who comes out now. Jalen King checks in for Greensboro for the first time today. As the Quakers throw in. And a shot. Oh, what a save by Hermosa! Hermosa goes up and extends, full extension right hand, and saves that one from going top shelf. Well, we talked about how comfortable Greensboro is defensively, or at least in net, with pretty much whoever they can put in there. Options everywhere, and you see why Hermosa has gotten the first nod this year. Greensboro heads that one out of the way. Rodriguez's kick blocked by Garcia Avila. And here comes Elcabas. It's going to be a foot race. Elcabas showing off the speed. Oh, he's got only the goalkeeper to beat. Jalen King with him. Elcabas gets past him. The shot. Oh, it's blocked aside. Elcabas had a beautiful opportunity, and that was redirected at the last moment by Guilford. Oh, you know his eyes had to light up as big as a soccer ball itself when he saw that empty net in front of him. Greensboro that close to a 2-0 advantage. But now you got to reset and get ready here as Hermanson about to kick this in from the corner. Hermanson's blast headed by Deanna and a defender, and I think the defender wins. That ball goes out. Jalen King will throw it in. Leo Cardona about to check in. Also, Gazan Fari and Edry all coming in. Garcia Avila checking out. So too is El Cabas and Deanna. Greensboro leads by 1. The only goal coming by Ullman earlier. This one cleared out by Guilford. Hermosa feeds this on up ahead to King, who sends it past the center line to Edry. Now to Oman. Oman working towards the far side of the box, trying to get past the defender, find an angle, but the angle instead is taken by the Quakers, who push it further out. Greensboro, though, maintains possession. Gazanfari with it, skies this one towards the right-hand side of the box, headed away by Guilford, and it's going to be, is that Elijah Stout that's checked in over there, or? Oh, no, that's Frankie Avalos. We saw him check in earlier. 28, not 20. Stupurik to Rudell. To Gazanfari, back to Rudell. Backs up past the center line again. To Stupurik. Feeds this up ahead to Medina Beltran. Couldn't maintain his balance around Santos, and here comes Guilford. Good slide tackle there by Nagash. Possession being fought for up the far sideline, won for a moment by Greensboro, and Oman settles it to Cardona, now to Medina Beltran. That's headed away and back to Vidal Peraza. Rolls it back out for the Quakers. 22:45 remaining in the first half. Nagash sends that one out of bounds, and out onto College Street. Jeremy Pless working through a couple Greensboro defenders, now to Jacob Garbia. Back to Pless, now to Greensboro. It's King. King feeds this one on up ahead to Edry. Edry, nice move there to get away from Chase Lewis. He's got King up the far side. He's got Oman to the near side. Oman fires this one just high. Good opportunity for Greensboro. You see Oman slap his knees there, a little frustrated with himself on the location of that kick. Opportunities have been there for the Pride here in the first half. I think Greensboro knows. Certainly some missed opportunities, and you can kind of feel one of two ways about it. On the one hand, hey, good, we're getting some looks. On the other hand, should have had a few of these capitalized on them. Headed here by Rudell. King trying to get to it, but it's going to be Pless instead, Jeremy Pless, who heads it out of bounds. Gazanfari throws this one into King and kicked out of bounds again by Guilford, and possession remains with the Pride. Gazenfari throws it into King, who immediately loses it. Jalen King playing some good defense over there on the sideline, out of bounds off of him, but certainly staying active on the defensive end on the near sideline. Pless throws it in. Gazenfari to Medina Beltran. Pokes this aside to, was looking for King, but fed it a little bit too far, and now Leo Cardona playing some good defense. Scoots that one out of bounds, and again, Jeremy Pless, the senior from Titusville, Florida, will throw it in. He does to Isaac Garbia. Garbia, long feed up ahead, looking for Avalos. Dealing with Nagash, and Greensboro tries to send it further back ahead. Headers back and forth we go. And here's an opportunity. If Greensboro can get to it, they cannot. It's going to be taken by Nathan Pless, sends it back to Vidal Peraza, who skies this one all the way to the other side of the pitch, headed by Rudell, and sends it back to Hermosa. Greensboro starts over. Shots 3 apiece on goal, 2 for the Pride, 1 for Guilford. Quakers lead corner kick 6-2.
Secure!
One yellow card per side, 3 fouls for Guilford, none for Greensboro. Hermosa, 1 out of 1 in save opportunities. Vidal Peraza, 1 out of 2. Greensboro with possession. They're trying to cross the center line. Ball right at the center mark now. Medina Beltran almost tripped up by Santos. Now to Gazenfari right in front of our position, up ahead to King as they've crossed the center line. Now to Gazenfari. King's pass a little bit off the mark. It goes out of bounds. Well, it's off the mark because it was touched by Guilford. Here's an opportunity here for Greensboro. Shot. We have a whistle here before the kick. Edry about bowled over his defender. So Edry picks up the foul, and the first one officially on Greensboro today. And we will take another quick break here as we've got a couple of substitutions for Greensboro. Looks like checking in here will be Elias Goldsberry and Eddie Hemington. A couple names we haven't said much this year, but we're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout here. Greensboro leads it 1-0, 18-11 to go, first half on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Substitution for the Quakers as well. Saeed Saavedra comes in, Nathan Pless out. And for Greensboro, Hemington did not come in. It was just Elias Goldsberry. For Gustav Oman, Gazenfari looking up ahead to Cardona. Cardona trying to work with Edry here. Cardona can't get around his defender. Jeremy Pless keeps that from going out of bounds. And here is the substitution. Hemington is in, and Medina Beltran checks out. Juan Medina Beltran comes out. Eddie Hemington, the freshman from Lancaster, England, will check in. For Elias Goldsberry, the first action for the freshman this year, and also for Eddie Hemington. Guilford with it over the near left corner. Poked out of bounds. Jacob Garbia with it at the moment. Headed away there by Hemington. Goldsberry had it, lost it. This is sent further down to the far side, looking for Avalos. Avalos with it, trying to work past Negash, and cannot do so. Jairo Medel Penaloza with it. Sends this in towards the near corner. Kept in bounds by Hector Rodriguez. Good defense, though, by Greensboro. That's sent in towards the box, headed over the end line. Approaching 16 to play first half. Gustav Omen, the lone goal scorer today. And Mika Rudell sends this up to Stepurik. Now back to Rudell. Rudell up ahead to Cardona. Now back to the defenders. Hemington had that one taken away. Racing down the far sideline. Good defense by Stepurik. Takes that one away from Jacob Garbia. Possession still with Guilford, but immediate threat neutralized by the Pride. Defenders for Greensboro doing what they need to do. Here comes Goldsberry with it. Goldsberry feeds this up ahead to Ghazenfari. He's got King racing down the near sideline. And here comes the feed. King's going to have to go chase it down. And an offside called here. You know, one thing that we talked about in the last game was the fact that Greensboro, at least in the early going this year, is not connected on those long passes. And obviously, eventually, you'd like to see those start to go Greensboro's way. But for right now, the timing just a little bit off for the Pride in the early going of 2025. 14:45 to go first half. Is headed away by Stepurik, now taken away by Avalos. Avalos trying to cut the left-hand corner, working his way in on the box, and that's poked out of bounds. Good job, Stepurik. Kind of sliding into the lane there, if you will. Hermosa still 1 for 1 in saves. Greensboro doing a good job after those early rash of Quaker corners. Made the going a little bit easier on Hermosa since then. Made that one stellar save, what, about 15 minutes ago or so? Corner on the far side for the Quakers. And here we go. That one sent in and airmailed over everyone out of bounds. And it will go to Greensboro now. 13:30 to go. Max Hall checking in for Greensboro. Looks like Negash is coming out. And Hermosa gets this going for Greensboro. Ken Vasquez checks in from Pittsburgh for Guilford. Kale Hermanson sends this one a mile high. It crosses the center line and ultimately rests with the Quakers. They send it back the other way. Greensboro now with it. And Hermanson boots this one the other way, and it will go out of bounds. It was kind of Hermanson versus Hector Rodriguez. Hermanson said, I'll take care of it. Hermosa, rather, not Hermanson. Ghazenfari heads this back to Hermosa. And the Greensboro netminder with the smother. Rolls this one out to Hermanson, looking for an outlet. He's going to go towards Max Hall. That pass a little off target, intercepted by Saavedra. Kale Hermanson sends this down the other way. Racing for it is King. Headed out of bounds, though, by Pless, the senior. Greensboro with the throw in, just crossed under 12 minutes to play. Looks like Hall to throw it in. And that one's headed away, heading towards the boundary, but Hall able to settle it. Fighting with Santos now. Santos going to take it away. There's a whistle, and it's going to be a foul on Hall. Guilford with possession now. Headed by Hall. Hall just about sent that one into the parking lot. Fortunately, I parked a little bit further down, so that was would have been somebody else's issue. Possession fought for down the near sideline. Blasted by Hall. Races between Pless and Edry. Pless with it, and he'll kick it out towards the corner where it rolls out of bounds. We are creeping towards 10 minutes to play first half. Thrown in here, headed towards the box by Hermanson, scooped up there by Vidal Peraza. Hermanson tried the reverse header. Hemmington sends this back to Rudell, who backs it all the way to Hermosa, who sends it to Stupuric, and Greensboro once again begins the methodical march down the pitch. Good move there to Goldsberry, sliding past his defender. Goldsberry looking on net, and that one a one-hopper to Vidal Peraza. Under 10 to play, in fact, closer to 9 than 10. As Ghazenfari interrupts the passing lanes, it goes out of bounds far side. Guilford this year, 12 goals in their first 3 games, 10 of them against Bluefield, their last contest. Santos checks out. Elijah Stout checks in, the graduate student from Atlanta, Georgia. Transfer from Emory and Henry. Possession fought for in front of the bleacher section over on the far side. Back and forth it goes. This one kicked over towards the Guilford bench. Rodriguez cannot save it, and it will be Greensboro ball. Leading goal scorers for the Quakers this year, Jacob Garbia 4, Isaac Garbia 3. 1 each for Rodriguez, Hercules, Avalos, Candela Urbana, and Vasquez. Another throw in for Greensboro, and again deflected by the Quakers, though. Not able to settle it. Greensboro tries to get it back. It's Cardona looking to Goldsberry. I'll tell you what, and this is the first I've seen of Elias Goldsberry. He is shifty out there with the ball. Good at making defenders miss and maintaining possession. Very comfortable with his ball handling skills. especially in traffic on the far side. Very impressed what we've seen with his early looks. Hall's pass intercepted by Stout, who sends it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Pride. It's King to Hemington. Hemington feeds this one on up ahead to Cardona. Cardona, nice move, tries to get around the defender, slips on the shot attempt though. Here's Edry. Nope, that's going to be cleared by the Quakers. Little pandemonium there in front of the net there for a moment. Couple good looks for Greensboro. Cardona looked like he lost his footing a hair. Edry tried to recover it, but the Quaker defense was ready. 6:45 in the first half. Here's the throw in over the head of Hermanson and headed away by Guilford. And again, back and forth the possession goes. Rudell with it, fires this one in towards King. King trying to settle it. Fires this one in towards the box, kicked away by the Quakers. That was, I believe, Jeremy Pless with it. Rudell with it at the center line, feeds this up ahead to Hermanson. Back to Rudell. And back to Stepurik. Trying to feed this up to Goldsberry. Goldsberry again slips past the defender. Goldsberry working to the far side, kicks this one, airmails it. Again, high. He's missed high twice now. And out of bounds, Vidal Peraza will get things going again. But I tell you what, you like the speed of Goldsberry. You certainly like his elusiveness out there. The accuracy will come. Vidal Peraza sends that one airborne. Headed by Hemington, and back and forth we go again. Well, the two teams scramble for possession. Cardona with it for the moment. Now Hermanson sends this down again towards Vidal Peraza, who will settle it. Pokes this out to the far sideline. Under 5 to go first half. As Hermosa comes out to get that one. Sends it back out to Ghazenfari. Legs this one down the far sideline, taken away by the Quakers near the center line. A little much on that pass there, though, and Rudell sends it back to Hermosa. And fires it back down the field again. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at what else is going on around the USA South, as well as what's going on around Greensboro College athletics. We'll also take a look at the Soup Bowl coming up tonight. Some thoughts on that game. Greensboro looking for their first win in the Soup Bowl since 2012. That game again tonight, 7 o'clock on the campus of the Quakers. This one curls in far side of the box, headed away by Ghazenfari. That was Vasquez who started that sequence. Greensboro players converging far side. They'll clear it, but into a swath of Quakers. I don't know, what do you call multiple Quakers? I don't know why gaggle was the first word that came into my head. That's not it. A committee of Quakers? Yeah, something like that, yeah. King sends this up ahead, was looking for Edry, headed away, though, by Guilford. Greensboro's going to settle it. Hemington over to the far side to Goldsberry. Goldsberry trying the same move again. This time goes through a couple defenders. Now opens up the middle of the field to Cardona. Cardona makes one man miss. He'll fire that one in and saved by Vidal Peraza. You see the shiftiness not just of Goldsberry, but also of Leo Cardona as well, the senior from Tampa.
Who can get in behind? Hey, if Hector checks, let's try to get in behind. Movement, boy! He takes the outside back with him. Who's getting in behind?
Cardona looking for his second career goal. Scored one in 2023 with Greensboro. 2:15 to go. This is Jacob Garbia. Sends that one to Hermosa. Makes a nice save and kicked out of bounds by Hall. Again by the fingertips, Alvaro Hermosa. Comes through in the clutch. We'll take another look at this one. Greensboro certainly loving the play that they're getting from their back end. And I think next time we get a chance to talk to Christian Del Cid, I think we'll talk to him a little bit more about what he sees from Hermosa in the early going this year. Certainly impressive, the junior from Spain. Under a minute 30 to play, first half. And Hermosa's kick curling out of bounds. One minute to go, first half. That one thrown in by Elijah Stout and immediately returned back out of bounds. Stout will again throw it in. Throws that one to Garbia. Jacob Garbia back to Stout. Stout chips it between a couple defenders. King gets away from Garbia. Possession Greensboro now. King makes one man miss. Oh, actually about broke his ankles there on that one. King feeds this one up ahead looking for Edry, but intercepted. Rudell with it to Hemington. Hemington passes that one in towards the left side of the box, but Vidal Peraza is going to get to it. 15 seconds to play. Vidal Peraza sends this one up ahead. Headed away by Stepurik, headed by Cardona, and kicked by Goldsberry back in towards Vidal Peraza. And that's how the first half will come to an end. 1-0 Greensboro here on leg 2 of Rivalry Weekend. The goal from Gustav Oman, his second of the year, gives Greensboro an early 1-0 advantage. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll take a look at how the first half has come about here. We'll take a look at some of the first half numbers and get you also set for the Soup Bowl later this evening as well. Pride lead at 1-0 at the break on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Whew. And taking a look at some of the first half numbers here for Greensboro and Guilford. The Pride lead at 1-0 at the break. 4 shots per side, 3 shots on goal for the Pride, 2 of them for the Quakers, 2 saves each. Corners, thanks to that early flurry for Guilford, 8-2 your number there. 1 yellow card per side, 3 fouls for Guilford, 1 for Greensboro. Some of your individual leaders, leader in shots for the Quakers, Jacob Garbia with 2. Both of his were on goal. Also shots for Santos and Rodriguez. And, of course, Vidal Peraza with 2 saves and 3 opportunities. For Greensboro, 2 shots for Omen, one of them on net. That one obviously resulting in the goal. Mika Rudell also with a shot on goal, as did Cardona have one as well. And, of course, Hermosa with 2 saves. You saw those on that replay montage a little bit ago. Some of the big moments there for Greensboro from a goalkeeping standpoint. That's a look at what else has gone on in this contest. The 1 goal for the Pride, of course, coming in off of the redirect from Gustav Omen. Omen's goal coming in at 12:03 in the first half, and Greensboro has matched their goal total from last year by finding the back of the net already 11 times in 2.5 contests in 2025. We're going to step aside again. When we come back, we'll take a look at what else is going on around the USA South. This is Greensboro College men's soccer on the Greensboro Pride Sports Network. College athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
You know, I just really felt like I was a person, you know, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, you know, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that like led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. Well, since we last talked to you on Wednesday, just one game has gone final since then, and that was yesterday. Emory, a 1-0 shutout of North Carolina Wesleyan down in Atlanta last night. A look at today's slate just underway. Barry on the road at Methodist. That game started about 3 minutes ago. Still to come this afternoon, Southern Virginia on the road at Sewanee. Brevard is at Roanoke, and Notre Dame of Maryland at Mary Baldwin at 3:30. And then William Peace on the road against Randolph. We just saw them a couple of days ago. That is a 7 o'clock start. Football season gets underway as well. And how about what we saw earlier this week? Belhaven, a 52-24 dismantling in their contest. That game was actually on Thursday against Millsaps, 50-24, the final score in that one from Jackson. And then how about in Rocky Mount, a 64, you heard that right, 64-12 win, North Carolina Wesleyan over ODAC opponent Averett. Javier Rice, 6 of 9, 213 yards, 3 touchdown passes. And then here's Seagrave, 17 carries for $152 and 2 scores. Also Carmen Flemister with 2 rushing touchdowns, and Zamarian Winborn with a couple rushing scores as well. You look at how that game shook out. Wesleyan jumped out 23-6 in the first quarter, led it 43-6 at the half, and they coasted from there. Back to that Belhaven game against Millsaps, was tied at the end of the first quarter, and Belhaven had just a 4-point lead at the end of the first half, but they pulled away in half number 2. Brock Morris, 16-25, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns and interception. Caleb Galashaw with 2 rushing touchdowns, 21 yards, 21 carries and 83 yards. R.J. Garrison, 5 catches, $155, and a touchdown. A reminder, the Soup Bowl tonight at Guilford. Greensboro College looking for their first win in the Soup Bowl since 2012. A couple of things to know if you are planning to head out that way this evening. Again, reminder, kickoff is 7 p.m. at the Armfield Athletic Center. Admission is $15 at the gate, or if you bring 4 canned good items to get in for free. It's 4 canned goods per individual. Kids 12 and under are free. If you go to the GreensboroCollegeSports.com website, there's a campus map, and also there's a link to Guilford College game day policies and information as well. You can find all that on the Guilford or the Greensboro College sports website, or you can visit Guilford's website as well. As again, Guilford won last year's edition of the Soup Bowl 14-0 right here at Pride Field. Greensboro looking to turn the tides here in 2025. Everybody excited around football this year, getting ready for what should be an interesting year. A very veteran defensive group for the Pride, and you talk about offensively, obviously you have a very veteran offensive line. You've got some big wide receivers coming back. Coy Davis, Shamar Privet coming back as well. Maybe some questions in the backfield, not in terms of ability. We certainly know Josh Sims and transfer Chase Altus have the ability, but more just kind of, an experience thing. Who's going to be able to show up and get things done? Obviously, all indications that Altus probably going to begin QB1 tomorrow or later this afternoon, and so we're excited to see what he will bring to the table later this afternoon as well. But again, for Greensboro, it's all going to be about the defense this year. We talk a little bit about Frank Walker. We talk about Deshaun Holman and Cedric Crenshaw, and obviously this is a Greensboro group that was good at getting to the quarterback last year, and I think as we will see here in 2025, they'll certainly be able to do that again. And of course, the secondary led by guys such as the veteran Will Pelthorpe, very excited to be back after missing a little bit of time in the spring, dealing with a couple of nagging issues, but talked to him in the preseason preview, and he was certainly excited and ready to be back, and we are certainly excited that football returns. Football will be back at home for their season or their home opener next weekend against Roanoke. That is a noon kickoff. Roanoke has revitalized their football program after some extensive absence. So for all intents and purposes, the first ever time these two teams have ever squared off. That's coming up next Saturday at noon. We'll step aside one last time. When we come back, we'll get ready for second half action. Rivalry week continues. Guilford and Greensboro on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Second half action here at Pride Field. Kendrick Fruits once again here with you as we get set for the final 45 minutes of today's contest. Greensboro leads at 1-0 thanks to the Gustav Ullman goal. They came 12 minutes deep into the match. You know, with everything going on at halftime, we're talking about the football scores from earlier this week, and we've got an early whistle here and a foul against Greensboro. We didn't even have a chance to talk about volleyball's incredible day yesterday. Peyton Shiflett and Morgan Mayfield leading the charge. Greensboro defeated Guilford 3-1, and they have run their record to 3-0 this year. Remember, Greensboro preseason pick, or preseason poll number 2 in the USA South. Free kick coming here for the Quakers, and they get things going again. Chase Lewis working this one over to Nathan Pless. And down goes Gustav Ullman over there, goes out of bounds, and will stay with Guilford. But Greensboro on the road at Clinton today. Do you know, I'm asking Stephen here, who's sitting over here next to me, do you know what time that match is against Clinton? It is at noon, so we'll check, see if we have a score on that. I'll get that for you here in just a moment. I got it, don't worry about it. Oh, there are no stats. Okay, live stream only, so we'll see if they've got a score bug on there or not. Pride looking to go to 4-0 in volleyball this year as Vidal Peraza sends that one away. And nope, looks like the video is not available. So we will give you an update when we have that for volleyball. Back here at Pride Field, however, Guilford with possession around the center line. Jairo Medel Penaloza with it. This sent up ahead to Frankie Avalos, and a good job by Nagash to clear it. Sends this the other way and headed out of bounds by Lewis. 42-45 to go. Sergio Garcia Barrios hands that one off to Rudell. He'll throw it in. Rudell throws this one in. And the header by Guilford, taken though by Garcia Barrios. Sends this back out to Nagash, who fires this one left side of the box. Omen with the redirect. We've got a whistle. And it's going to go over to Guilford. We do notice the continued absence of Axel Garcia Barrios, who left the first half early. He once again not out on the pitch to start the second half. Lewis sends this one down to Avalos. Nice move getting past Nagash there. Avalos sends this over to the middle of the pitch now. Here is Hercules, and taken away by Greensboro. Cardona and Hercules tripped up. And it goes over to Greensboro there.
Let's go. This is the transition moment we talked about. Let's get there early. Okay, let's go. Ike. Let's go.
Hermanson sends it back to Hermosa. Hermosa to Stepurik. Stepurik fires over the center line. Was looking down there for Omen, but passed a little bit off target. Hector Rodriguez with it. He has it stolen away, though, and it goes to Gazanfari, who sends this one in on Vidal Peraza. Almost made contact with Garcia Barrios, but now rolls this out to Medel Penaloza. Medel Penaloza getting past Garcia Barrios and fires this into the middle of the pitch, kicked aside. And now it's going to be a foot race. Here comes Avalos with it. Nagash gets to it first and kicks it out of bounds. Good defense by the Greensboro defenseman. Or the Greensboro midfielder, I should say. He wants a call, doesn't get it. And now Kale Hermanson, rather, saying something to the official. It'll be a corner here for...
Hey, Ethan. What trainer is at volleyball? Okay. I was just going to ask her to give me updates. Their live stream's not working and they don't have stats, so.
this will be Jeremy Pless to send this in from the corner. This will be the 10th corner kick. 10th for Guilford. And headed by Deanna before being settled there by Hercules, the junior, now to Pless. And Hermosa's going to come down with it.
Guys, wake up!
Hermosa boots it skyward. Deanna watching it. And that's all he can do, as it will land out of bounds.
Be ready for that ball back in, guys.
Guilford coached by Will Thompson in his first season's interim head coach, elevated there this past July. Played for Guilford. Played for Radford, rather. Graduated there in 2008. Should be a familiar face, was an assistant here at Greensboro for a good while, about 15 years ago, and was part of that really successful run here the Pride had, earning an NCAA tournament berth in 2013. And obviously, a lot of good things said about him. Everywhere that he goes, certainly see the success of teams and players alike. He's been through a couple of turnarounds and helped teams kind of work themselves up into being contenders again. Over on the far sideline, Deanna and Jeremy Pless going for it. Greensboro's going to win the throw-in. Headed there by, I believe that was Cardona over there. Deanna with it, tries to go towards Omen. His pass a little bit too far up high to Garbia. And now it's going to be Rodriguez. Rodriguez over across to Avalos now. Avalos getting past Negash, looking to try to turn the corner. Here comes Hermanson. Good pass in by Avalos. And there's a shot and a good foot there, stuck in there by, I believe that was Rudell. And Greensboro now getting a turnover. Nope, back to Guilford. Vidal Penaloza. Good job, Mika Rudell, getting a foot there in the way of that shot attempt moments ago.
You had 11 on that shot? Yeah, okay.
And here comes Isaac Garbia, the junior, now feeds this up ahead and rolls out of bounds over the baseline. Or the end line, rather. We are at 37-24 to play and ticking. Possession Greensboro on the far left corner. Again, we are perched in an elevated position in between the respective benches. Greensboro to our left, Guilford to our right. Greensboro working left to right, Guilford right to left. Hermanson in the middle of the field sends this one long, looking for Omen, and overshot it a little bit. Omen keeps it in. Slowed his momentum down a little bit, though. Now to the middle of the pitch to Medina Beltran, who fires this one right to Vidal Peraza, who makes the save. Medina Beltran's first shot, Greensboro's fifth and fourth on net. Notice Vidal Peraza has now made 4 saves. Check that has made 3 saves and 4 attempts. Cardona to Garcia Barrios. That one gets deflected out of bounds. Negash to send it in. He does to Stupuric. Greensboro settling things back amongst the defenders again. Rudell now sends this one across to Ghazenfari, who fires this in towards Deanna. Deanna lost the handle of it, and going back the other way with it is Chase Lewis. Rudell to Hermanson. Hermanson trying to get around Isaac Garbia. Can't do so, but now here comes Guilford with it. Here's a feed up ahead into traffic. Greensboro able to redirect and send back the other way again, delivering that ball out of bounds. 35 to go, so 10 minutes in. in half number 2. Greensboro still with a 1-0 lead, looking for their first win against Guilford since 2017.
Hey, if we're in a good serving area, can we get runners? Okay?
Also be a 2-0 lead in the weekend. I know that doesn't really count for anything other than bragging rights, but those are a big deal around here. Throw in coming for Guilford up in the far side. But it's going to be kicked aside by Rudell up to Deanna. Deanna has it poked out of bounds. And it will be Greensboro throwing it in closer towards the center line. Not quite there. Ghazenfari probably about 7-8 yards shy of the center line. Feeds this up ahead. Guilford redirects and again out of bounds. And this one going up over the bleachers section. Wait, was it? Greensboro throws it in. Off the ricochet off Deanna to Medina Beltran, and that one skied high and then again out of bounds, and again Ghazenfari will throw it in. Headed by Omen in towards Vidal Peraza, who will scoop it up. Vidal Peraza's kick up ahead to Avalos, the freshman, but too far out of his reach. And Negash throws it in to Hermanson. Hermanson back to Stepurik. Stepurik to Rudell. To Ghazenfari, whose pass, I believe, to Omen, the intended target, but goes out of bounds. Now throws it into Cardona. Cardona trying to work his way around his defender, which is Santos. Back to Ghazenfari, now back to Stepurik. They've crossed back into their own defensive side of the pitch. Now around the center mark is Hermanson. Now Negash with it, tries to get away from 3 defenders that were closing in on him. Up ahead is Rudell. He's looking for Deanna. Deanna heads it. He's going to have to go and corral it. Deanna gets around 1, is tripped up. We continue to play on. And now Garcia Barrios tripped up as well. And has it taken away from him by Chase Lewis. And a free kick coming here for Guilford after a little bit of contact between a couple different players. .31:40 to play. This one's sent up ahead by Guilford. And a little whiff there on the attempt by, I believe that was Pless over there. It was Jeremy Pless. This one's sent on up ahead by Guilford, but Negash with it. He's going to clear it, sends it up the other way. Oh, here comes Omen. This could develop into something. Omen with a nice pass to Deanna. Deanna fires this one on and scores! Jade Deanna, lower left corner, his 4th of the year, and the Pride double their lead 2-0. A nifty pass there from Gustav Omen. And Jade Deanna with his 4th goal of the season. So that's the most goals by a Greensboro College freshman since Craig Thomas scored 5 in 2022. So 2-0 Greensboro, 30:57 to go. And the officials have just given the word they're going to take a official stoppage for a water break here in a little bit. And, I applaud that. It's a fantastic decision made by the officials. A hotter day in September than we're used to. Temperatures approaching 90 degrees. Feels like is already there. So heads up by the officials recognizing that. And certainly applaud their looking out for the players. Santos with it. He's got it taken away, at least for a moment, by Cardona. Guilford, though, recovers. And here comes Lewis with it on up ahead to Medel Penaloza. Penaloza trying to get past Cardona. He does. Fires this back to the middle of the field. Santos getting away from Diana. Fires this to the far side. Knocked aside, though, by Omen. Greensboro will send it back the other way towards the Guilford defensive side. Chris Hercules with it, sends it over across to Santos. Now a long feed up ahead to Avalos. He's going to have to chase it down. Nagash, though, with a shoulder, knocks him down. And here comes Greensboro with it now. Garcia Barrios over ahead to Cardona. Cardona feeds this one to Medina Beltran. Turned it over at the center. Pless with it. Pless feeds it on the ground to Avalos. Over to the middle now to Rodriguez. Rodriguez looking for his man. He had Pless. Pless ran into, I believe that was Cardona over there. No, it wasn't Cardona. Shot in on Hermosa. He'll make the save on a hop. Couple of nice passes there for Guilford. Looked like one of their better offensive opportunities here in a bit.
Eyes on, boys, eyes on!
This one fed on up ahead. Chase Lewis trying to settle it down as it rolls out of bounds at the sideline. Lewis to throw it in. Actually, no, that'll be Medel Penaloza. Substitutions coming up, though. Saeed Saavedra checks in. So, too, is Ken Vasquez checking in. Coming out is Santos and Rodriguez. Coming in for Greensboro is Jalen King and Ori Edry. Coming out for Greensboro, Omen and Diana. Also, Elias Goldsberry comes in as well. Medina Beltran to King. King, nice move, working it to the far side to Goldsberry. Oh, the pass just a little bit wide. Goldsberry had a great line, but not able to corral the pass. It goes out of bounds. 27-40. Quakers slicing up the middle of the field. Now throws this one. Long feed up ahead to Avalos. He will settle it down, looking to try to get around Nagash. He does, but runs into a Greensboro defender. That's Stepurik. Stepurik fires this up ahead to Goldsberry. Goldsberry looking to feed it. I think he was looking for Hermanson. Hermanson had already left the area, and Hermosa comes and fires it away to clear for Greensboro. Goldsberry with one header, now with a second one. And it goes out of bounds off of the head of Medel Penaloza. Another substitution. It's going to be Max Hall checking in. And Tyler Ghazenfari comes out. Nagash will throw it in. Nagash looking for a teammate. Fires this one now towards Edry, but battle won by the Quakers. Header near center mark. Well, both Hall and Vasquez both missed it. Now finally on the second attempt, it rolls out of bounds far side, and it'll be Guilford throwing it back in. Another ball sent out of bounds. Nice catch made by a fan over there. 25-50. Greensboro looking to go to 2-0-1 on the year. Guilford, if they're not able to reverse their fortunes, will drop to 2-2. Greensboro would match their win total from last year in the first 3 games of the year. Pride try to settle things to the left of the net. A couple of headers there. Now going to be settled down by Pless, trying to get around and curl that down the far sideline. He will, out of bounds, just shy of the center line. More substitutions for Greensboro. Coming in is Eddie Hemington, and good to see Axel Garcia Avila checking back in now. Cardona coming out, and Medina Beltran also coming out as well. So good to see Axel Garcia Avila come back in. It was a little shaken up earlier today. Good work for Cardona and Medina Beltran. Greensboro throws it in, far side. Hemington trying to work his way past Avalos. Hemington, kick there by Nick Ash, but contact with Avalos, and it goes the other way. Here is Guilford. Garbia, marked there by Hermanson. And there's a foul. It's going to be on Greensboro, and Guilford gets things going again. Here comes Hercules, sends this one across to Pless. Pless working far side of the field. Fancy footwork there. Pless trying to work off of Hall now, sends this in on net. Pass in towards the box. There's a takeaway there by Greensboro. Good job there defensively. Goldsberry to clear it. Elias Goldsberry gets that out of harm's way, at least in the immediate future. Medell Penaloza with it. Ball back out to the center line. Controlled by Hercules. Sends this one over to, I believe that was Saavedra. Now back to Hercules, back to Saavedra again. Saeed Saavedra's pass missed his intentional mark, or his original mark, rather. Now Vasquez with it. Greensboro with the takeaway yet again. This one a long feed down the other way. Controlled by Lewis. Sends it back to Vidal Peraza. Peraza with it. Pass to the middle. Garbia with it. Feed up ahead. It's going to be a foot race won by Rudell of Greensboro. Goes out of bounds. 22:30 to go. Another takeover. This time it's Axel Garcia Avila. It goes out of bounds and goes back the other way to Guilford. So Greensboro's goals today, Omen and Deanna. Omen in the first half, Deanna in the second. His 4th already of the year. We said most by a Greensboro freshman since 2022. When Craig Thomas had 5. Vasquez with it on the ground is deflected by, I believe, Rudell. Got a foot on it. 21:43 to go.
Hey, Frankie, if you see Ken get in,
Corner
can you peel out
for
that
Guilford.
PK spot?
Deanna also scored in all 3 games for Greensboro so far. This one's sent in towards the box, headed out of the way by Greensboro. Hercules with it, sends it back in. It's going to go to the left of the net. Check that, right of the net. And Hermosa fires this a long way up ahead to, I believe that's Garcia Avila, but kicked away by Peraza. Peraza well out of the box there, but the gamble pays off for him. If he had whiffed on that one, then I think Garcia Avila may have an easy goal, even though it would have been long range. Hemington with the turnover to Goldsberry. Goldsberry working through a couple of defenders. Feeds this up ahead to Garcia Avila. Now back to Goldsberry. Gets tripped up with his defenders. Got a handful of jersey, and there's a whistle and a foul on Goldsberry. And I think this is going to be that water break they told us about. 20:32 to go in the half. In the contest, Greensboro leads it 2-0. We'll step aside. As the players are taking a break, we will too on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Well, a little bit of an update from South Carolina. Greensboro College volleyball leading 1-0 against Clinton. Won the first set 25-14. And again, they're looking to stretch their season opening win streak to 4 after taking down Guilford last night. They won both legs of their tri-match on last Saturday against St. Mary's of Maryland and Warren Wilson. Again, the Soup Bowl later on this evening at Guilford, a 7 o'clock start time. And then soccer back in action tomorrow, a noon start as Greensboro College taking on Berry tomorrow. Here comes Garcia Avila, feed up ahead to Edry. Pass a little bit too strong and poked aside by Saavedra. And there is I'll be honest, I looked down. What was it?
He can't pick it up because his player kicked it.
That's right. The goalkeeper picked it up after a Guilford player sent it to him. And, of course, Greensboro all on top of that. That's what I get for looking down at my notes for a split second. Yeah, indirect free kick. Yep. I'm learning a little bit.
Actually, I've never seen that. I don't think. We had one last year. Really?
19:30 to play.
It was like right off the. It was a weird spot. It was like the bottom right of the net.
We'll see who they have. Yeah, so a big wall there for Guilford as they're getting ready. I believe it's going to be Goldsberry, perhaps. And Goldsberry, the kick, the shot goes wide. Goldsberry's had a couple good looks today. And Greensboro's got a sub coming here right before the corner. So coming in is going to be Adrian Dross for Stepurik. For Dross this year, this will be his second contest. It'll be the third for the sophomore all time. And here comes the corner. In towards the box and booted aside. And once again out of bounds. 18:15 to go. So again, we mentioned soccer tomorrow against Barry. This one thrown in. Battled for possession in front of the net. Kick right over to Edry. Shot! Oh, what a save! The right hand of Vidal Peraza keeps it a 2-goal advantage for Greensboro, but another inch or two to either side, and I think the Pride are celebrating again right now. So a fantastic save by the Guilford netminder. Taking a look at the instant replay again here. We've seen some very, very good goalkeeping now from both sides. We get corner up the far side. Goldsberry will be the man sending this one skyward. Instead, he's going to kick this one out to the far side to, I believe that was Garcia Barrios. Greensboro, though, is going to settle it back closer to the center mark. Kicked up ahead to Hall. Hall on the near sideline in front of the Guilford bench. Up ahead now. Pass a little too far for his intended target of Garcia Avila. Quakers with it. Midel Penaloza with it. Feed up ahead to Garbia. Was looking to Jacob Garbia. They send it further on up ahead now. Chipped up by Dross. It will go not quite out of bounds. Saved there by Midel Penaloza. Coming up for Greensboro College after this weekend, which we told you about the Barry game tomorrow, which gets you through Sunday. On Wednesday the 10th, a doubleheader again for soccer here at Pride Field. Men's soccer against Averett at 4:30. Women against Johnson and Wales at 7. Women's volleyball continues this early season road trip on the road at William Peace. Their first conference action of the season. That begins at 7 o'clock. Then on the 12th, Friday the 12th, women's soccer has the 4 teams here for the, do we have a name for that? Is it like the GC Classic or something like that? Kicked over to the middle here is Guilford, trying to work the left-hand side. Either way, Meredith and Barry playing at 4:30. And then Greensboro College women against Roanoke at 7 o'clock. Cross country will be taking on Pfeiffer in Meisenheimer. And then, of course, next Saturday, as that goes out of bounds on the far side, football with their home opener against Roanoke. That's coming up at noon on Saturday, a week from today. So that's a look at what all is coming up for Greensboro College. And, of course, don't forget all the home events right here on the Greensboro College Sports Network. We hope to see you at the games, but if not, we've got you covered. 15 minutes to go. Pride lead by 2. As Guilford having to play with a little bit of urgency now. That one chipped out of bounds by Dross. Now coming up to 14:47. We have another stoppage. And a Guilford player again, hands on knees. We saw a lot of cramping the other day. We'll certainly hope everything's okay there. We'll step aside as he gets checked out. Pride lead at 2-0. 14:47 to go on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Dos Santos checking in for Isaac Garbia, who checked out with the injury. Greensboro making some changes. Cardona checks in. Hemington and Goldsberry and Hall and King all checking out. So mass substitutions here. Greensboro on the pitch right now. Edry, Oman, I see Cardona, Medina Beltran, Hermanson, Gazanfari, Rudell, Nagash. That one kicked high and over the goal. And last Greensboro player over there is Garcia Barrios. 14:36 to play. Hermosa 2 out of 2 in saves today. Vidal Peraza 4 out of 6. Shots on goal now 6-3 Greensboro, 8-6 in terms of overall shots. Corners go to Guilford 10-4 as we've got a whistle and a foul here. Garcia Barrios tangling up with, I believe that's Medel Penaloza. Yep, it is. And Garcia Barrios picking up a yellow. That'll be the second yellow card shown to Greensboro today. 14 minutes to go. Sent into the right-hand side of the box, headed away now by Oman. He'll fire that out of bounds onto College Street.
Frankie.
13:45 to play.
Watch your line, Frankie.
Guilford working the near sideline towards the Greensboro bench. A little bit of a collision there, out of bounds. And the Quakers will throw it back in. Jacob Garbia trying to work his way around Nagash now. Fires that one a tough angle, looking for a little bit of a redirect in front of the net. Doesn't get it, or at least not favorably, and Greensboro sends it back the other way. Long, clear opportunity here. Settled down by Chase Lewis. Oh, he might have turned that over to Edry. Edry, as that one knocked aside, is coming up and playing it is the goalkeeper, Vidal Peraza. Another turnover just short of the center line. Greensboro playing some good defense here. A couple of aggressive takeaways for the Pride. Garcia Barrios back to Nagash, who fires that one in. His shot, or a pass rather, intended for Edry, turned aside. Another update from South Carolina. Set 2 goes to Greensboro, 25-19. So they take a 2-0 lead on Clinton. That one poked out of bounds, left of the net. Coming up on 12 minutes to play. But Coach Bozarth in volleyball rolling right now in South Carolina, looking to run their record to 4-0 if they can close things out here today. Back here in Greensboro, Jeremy Pless with the corner. Under 12 to go. That one sent skyward and headed away by Oman. Opportunity, though, for Guilford. No, Greensboro takes it away. The fire up ahead, it's Medel Pelosa that'll settle it down. Works to the left-hand side, headed away by Nagash again. And back to the Quakers. Nope, Greensboro takes it away now. Garcia Barrios now to Hermanson. Feeds this one ahead. Garcia Barrios up ahead looking for Edry. Nice pass there. Edry back to Garcia Barrios and lowers the shoulder, knocks him down. And we play on. Medel Penaloza feeds this one on up ahead. Nice move, get around Cardona. Feeds this to the middle. That's Vasquez. Vasquez up ahead now to Pless. Pless trying to work past Medina Beltran. Medina Beltran will not be fooled with the fancy footwork. Taken away by Cardona. A bit of a lax pass there for the Quakers. Up ahead, Edry now to Medina Beltran again, working the far side. That's going to be Omen. Omen up ahead to Edry. And offside's called. 10:30 to play. Adele Penaloza with it. Working on Garcia Barrios, feeds this back now to Hercules. Guilford going to need some superhuman abilities to get it past Hermosa the way that he's played today. That's going to go out of bounds. Substitution here. It's going to be King checking in for Greensboro. Elijah Stout coming in for Guilford. Stout coming in for Isaac Garbia. Check that, no, for Nathan Pless. I didn't see who King came in for Greensboro. Looks like it's going to be Garcia Barrios. Sergio Garcia Barrios checking out. And a shot to the head here of Edry. Edry contact with Hercules. He is down, face covered up by his hands. Edry gets up. 9:59 to play. I don't know, maybe he got an inadvertent finger to the eye or, foot to the eye. And something going on right now. Some Guilford players very unhappy. Well, there's a little bit of something going on to the near side. Some, I don't know if fans or players are interacting or what. But anyways, while that's going on and we're delayed, again, a reminder that the Soup Bowl later today, $15 admission or 4 canned good items at the gate. Yeah, let's go ahead and step aside real quick while this gets sorted out here on the Greensboro College Sports Network. College athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
You know, I just really felt like I was a person, you know, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, you know, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that like led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories.
College, to Greensboro College, to Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
Headed away by Hermanson. Nagash sends this one on up ahead. Edry now is flanking Pless. Now back to Vidal Peraza. That one booted on up ahead by Vidal Peraza. To Santos. Back and forth we go around the center of the field. Rudell clears it again. And out of bounds it goes. Throwing it in will be Elijah Stout. But Medina Beltran gets in the way of that inbounds. And again, Stout will inbound. We'll throw it in. Clock under 6.5 now. Greensboro continuing to try to bleed it down. Good tackle there for Guilford. Quakers with it. Here comes Stout. Feeds this one back to Lewis. Lewis, long feed up ahead. Taken there by Santos. Now to Avalos. That one goes wide of the net. Hermosa will go out to meet it. .5:45 to play. Jalen King with it. Dumps this up ahead to Cardona. Cardona reversing his direction. Feeds this up ahead to Ghazenfari at the center line. And Ghazenfari will just turn and pop it out of bounds. Medina Beltran was slow to get up there for a moment. And looks, you see the way he's trying to stretch out his legs right there, maybe a little bit of a cramping situation. He's walking off, but obviously not taking any chances today. Eddie Hemington comes in. It is now 87 degrees, feels like 93. Looks like potential of thunderstorms starting to hit the area in about an hour and a half, hour 45. Obviously, we'll be well clear of that here. We'll see what kind of situation we run into for football tonight. The Soup Bowl, 7 o'clock at Guilford. $15 at the gate, or 4 canned good items will get you in. Kids 12 and under are free. We hope to see you there. Jalen King feeds this on up ahead. Nice bit of footwork there. He works towards the middle of the field. King tries to curl that one in on net. He does, but right there is Vidal Peraza. If you see Steven or myself there, come by and say hi. Only if you have nice things to say. No, we'd love to see you there. If you're not able to come today, the broadcast will be streamed on Flow Sports. You will need a account to watch that, and is that a paid subscription? Yeah, paid subscription. But the link for that can be found on the Guilford College Athletics website. 4:30 to play. Greensboro again in the way of the passing lanes. Here comes Medel Penaloza. Getting past King. He tries to settle it down. He does. Feeds this all the way across to the other side. Long shot on goal. Hermosa can't get to it, but that one just wide of the post. And timeout called as Greensboro makes substitutions. Goldsberry comes in. Hall comes in. King comes out. So Goldsberry and Hall in. King and Nagash out. 4:12 to play.
So what I'll probably have to do is what we did with Carolina Christian and men's soccer. They had the same deal pretty much, so I may just have to.
Long feed up ahead from Hermosa. Headed out of bounds by Medel Penaloza. 4 minutes to go.
Unless they have film or we have film.
And another player down, Medel Penaloza.
Okay, yeah.
We're seeing
I'll let you know when I get them.
stoppages coming here in a hurry late in this contest, and he's up again. Looks like another possible chance of a cramp of some sort.
What was that third set?
Seth Mead checking in.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
And Medel Penaloza coming out.
All right, sounds good.
Other players taking an opportunity to grab a little bit of water. .401 to go. Ghazenfari will throw it in over Seth Mead, who's just checked in for the Quakers. Hemington with it. Hemington back to Ghazenfari, now looking over a little bit of open space to Hermanson. Max Hall misplayed it there for a moment. Recovers, sends it back to Hermosa. Hermosa fires this one down. Mead able to get a foot on it. Keeps it from rolling all the way down to the opposite box. Now they'll send it back there intentionally. Vidal Peraza will clear this one out up ahead. Knocked down by Hercules, and then Hemington, I think, maybe touched it with his hand. Yep, he did. 3:23 to play. Hercules sends this. Well, was trying to send it down the center line, and Gustav Ullman trying to redirect it, whiffed on the header. A little bit over his head, though, which is saying something. He's not a short guy. It's one of the things they talked about in the preseason preview this year is obviously size isn't everything when it comes to your roster buildup, but they said one thing that Greensboro had this year that it hasn't really had in recent years past, and that is height. 2:45. Greensboro could exercise a lot of demons today. A losing streak to Guilford dating back to 2017.
First contact.
Already would tie last year's win total with a victory today. They've already surpassed last year's goals scored total. Good job there by Hemington on the tackle, but just didn't complete it. Meade fires this one in on the box, blocked away by Edry, and cleared out this time by, I believe that was Hemington down there. Check, that was Drost. I think I missed Drost checking back into the game. Under 2 minutes to play. Elijah Stout trying to split a couple defenders with that pass, sends it all the way down to Hermosa. Hermosa hands on his knees there for a moment, settling things down. Again, Greensboro just trying to bleed the clock where they can. And Hermosa sends this skyward, heading towards the bench of Guilford and just over our position here. And now it looks like Hermosa's cramping up. That's starting to become a thing. Cramps up and down the pitch here in the last 10 minutes or so. I guess on the good side of things, obviously you never want to see that, but better cramps than serious physical injuries for these guys. But again, hot day today, and you know, good job by the officials not taking any chances and making sure that people have opportunities to stay hydrated. And obviously we have a stoppage like this. Some of the other players making their way to the sidelines. Water bottles being thrown around and filled up and consumed. As Greensboro tries to defend the final minute 25 of this clock. Looks like Jacopo Kanzian ready and Casey is called upon, but right now Hermosa trying to finish this one off. Garbia had it taken away for a moment, sends this back ahead to Santos. Hemington pushed Santos. Well, there's a foul there, and here comes Jeremy Pless. Pless works far side. Here's Stout. Stout getting past Edry, fires this one in on Avalos. Now back across to Pless. Pless working towards the far flag. Tries to turn the corner, cannot. A lot of pointing going on, and I think the officials point against Greensboro. 42 seconds to go. Corner kick coming in and headed away. Good job by Goldsberry to clear that one. Helping his goalkeeper out a little bit there. Under 30 seconds to go. Meade trying to quickly work up the way. And fed up to, oh boy, here's an opportunity here. Hermanson. Kale Hermanson racing back as Vidal Peraza to get back. Hermanson lost the handle of it just for a moment, and it's taken back away by Guilford. Clock winding down to the final 10 seconds. Good slide tackle by Hemington. And Guilford not going to push it any further than that. And Greensboro, with their first victory in men's soccer against Guilford since 2017. 2-0 your final score. First half goal by Oman, second half goal, or first half goal by Oman. That came with 12 minutes to play in this contest, or into the contest, and then just early in the second half, Jay Deanna, his 4th goal of the season, made it 2-0 Pride, and that is your final score. Look at some of the final numbers here. 9 shots to 7 in favor of Greensboro. Shots on goal 7-2 in favor of the Pride as well. Corner kicks go 13-4 to Guilford. Yellow cards 2 apiece. Fouls 9-5. Greensboro committing the 9 there. 5 offsides for Greensboro, 1 for Guilford. Saves go to the Pride, or to Guilford rather, as Ildris Vidal Peraza saves 5 of 7. Alvaro Hermosa saves both of his. Leading individual efforts today, Jacob Garbia, 4 shots, 2 of them on net. 1 shot by Hercules, 1 from Santos, and 1 from Rodriguez make up the 7 shots for Guilford. The 2 by Garbia on net were their only 2 such shots today. For Greensboro, Gustav Ullman, 2 shots, 1 on net. That was a score. Jay Deanna, 1 shot on net. It was also a score. Juan Medina Beltran also had a shot. It was on goal as well. Leo Cardona, a shot on goal today, as well as King and Edry, and Goldsberry had a shot as well that went wide. Gustav Ullman, his 2nd goal of the year. Jay Deanna, his 4th. And Greensboro improves to 2-0-1, while Guilford falls to 2-2. Greensboro, a very small time to celebrate the win, however. They got to get right back at it tomorrow. A noon start against Barry. Greensboro volleyball leading right now at Clinton 2-0. Check that. 2-0 in that contest as they're looking to finish it off and go 4-0 on the year. Later today, it's the Soup Bowl on the campus of Guilford College. 7 o'clock is kickoff time, and we will certainly hope to see you there. Again, broadcast will be on Flow Sports. A paid subscription is required. Visit the Guilford College Athletics page and go to the football tab, go to schedule, and then select today's game, and that will take you to the link where you can get that taken care of if you so choose to do so. Again, kickoff at 7 o'clock tonight. We hope to see you there. $15 will get you in, or 4 canned good items will get you in as well. As again, the Soup Bowl, obviously we talk about the rivalry between these 2 teams, but ultimately you talk about the fact that we are teammates and partners in this thing called life and humanity. And so good competition, good rivalry, but again, a good cause tonight, the Soup Bowl. Greensboro will look to win their first against Guilford in that contest since 2012 as they took care of the men's soccer team for the first time since 2017. Earlier today, just going final a little bit ago. We'll take a look at what else has gone on around the USA South in terms of soccer today. Men's soccer, one other game started while we were in progress, and in fact, I think that may still be the only game currently in progress, and that is Barry and Methodist. Get you a score. Yep, it is just a couple minutes in to the second half, and Barry has a 1-0 lead. Jack Ralston with the goal for Barry, and they lead Methodist in the second half 1-0. Still to come later today at 2 o'clock in Sewanee. It's Southern Virginia at Sewanee. Brevard on the road at Roanoke at 2 o'clock as well. Notre Dame of Maryland taking on Mary Baldwin at 3:30, and William Peace on the road at Randolph for the USA South nightcap at 7 o'clock. And then tomorrow, Barry and Greensboro at noon. At 1:30, North Carolina Wesleyan takes on Oglethorpe. And that will pretty much wrap everything up here for us today. Again, a reminder, tomorrow's game time is at noon. Join us for the Pride pregame at 11:45 a.m. That'll wrap everything up here for us today on a victorious day for Greensboro, what is continuing to be a successful rivalry weekend for the Pride. And we look forward to talking to you tomorrow as they take on Barry to close out this weekend of athletics. But Greensboro volleyball gets it done yesterday. They're about to wrap things up here today, and they're going to look to do things tomorrow, looking for or tonight, looking for the Guilford sweep if football can get it done. That'll wrap everything up for us here. Your final score one last time, Greensboro College 2 and Guilford 0. Big thank you to all the game day staff, all our camera operators, as well as producer Stephen Weidenhouse. Thank you to him for everything that he does to put this together. And with that said, I'm Kendrick Fruits wishing you a green and white afternoon. This has been a presentation of Greensboro College men's soccer on the Greensboro College Sports Network.